All right, so what we're going to do here is analyze this function. We're going to start with finding the intercepts here. So to find the y-intercept, we set x equal to 0. So we're going to say f of 0 is equal to, and this is pretty straightforward to see. You can see that it's 2 times 0 minus 1 over 0 plus 3, which is going to give you negative 1/3. To find the x-intercept, you set y equal to 0, and we say that 0 equals 2x minus 1 over x plus 3, and solve this for x. But if you see you multiply both sides by x plus 3, you still get 0 on the left side, and that leads you to have x equals 1/2. So that's done. Let's look at our asymptotes. And to look at these asymptotes, what we're going to need to do is, let's start with the vertical. And for this, we want to set denominator equal to 0. So we have 0 equals x plus 3, x equals negative 3. So that's going to be our vertical asymptote. Now for the horizontal asymptote, we all just really care about the leading terms, okay? Because this is saying as x goes towards infinity, or x goes towards negative infinity. In other words, as this number here gets, you plug in some really huge number here, the only thing that really matters is the leading terms. These little numbers here won't make any difference at all. So for this particular function, the leading terms is 2x and x, and that's going to lead us to have 2. So we can write this in limit notation and say the limit of f of x as x approaches infinity is also the limit of f of x as x approaches negative infinity, and both of them are going to equal 2. Okay. Now, so we sort of got that done, got the end behavior covered. That's what this is right here. And then we have to figure out the domain and the range and also graph it. Okay, so if we graph this, you can see that as we approach negative 3 from the right, so we can say the limit of f of x as x approaches negative 3 from the right is going to shoot straight down to negative infinity. And use different colors here. The limit of f of x as x approaches negative 3 from the left going towards the right, it's actually going to shoot up towards positive infinity. Okay. And that's our vertical asymptotes. And so this helps us, but really the formal complete definition is to write it in this manner. Okay. Now the range in this case, from the graph we can see that it's going to be everything except negative 3, and the domain is going to be the range is going to be everything except 2, and the domain is going to be everything except negative 3, because you have this gap here along the x. That's the domain. And you're going to have this gap here at y equals 2. Okay. So we'll write this down. Our domain is negative infinity to negative 3, negative 3 to infinity. The range is everything from negative infinity to 2, union with 2 to positive infinity. Now, it's kind of hard to answer this last question here. How is everything related to 1 over x? Well, to do this, let me just show you the synthetic division. If we do synthetic division here, this is going to be pretty straightforward. We have a very quick one. 2 divided by 2, bring this down. This gives you negative 6. and this gives you a remainder of -7. So we can rewrite this. So we can rewrite f of x as 2 plus -7 over x plus 3. Okay. Well, let's think about the transformations. This 3 here is shift 3 left. This here is shift up 2. This -7 here is a vertical stretch by 7. And the negative says reflect over the y-axis. I'm sorry, the x-axis. So what's really happening here is that this function here is really just a basic transformation of 1 over x. It's hard to see it when you write it in this form, but it is possible to get from 1 over x to this function. And right now, this only works because these powers are also 1. When we take a look at the next example with powers of 2 or 3 or 4 greater, this is no longer true. It's no longer a transformation of the inverse function. So this is hopefully somewhat of a review or a gentle introduction into how to analyze these basic functions. In the next videos, we'll deal with some more complicated scenarios where we talk about what happens if you have an x squared or an x cubed in here. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.